Welcome to Real Estate Game Changers Radio, featuring real estate trendsetters and industry influencers, sharing tips and strategies to help home buyers and home sellers get the most out of their next real estate transaction. Now, here's your host, Suzanne Doyle-Ingram.
This is Suzanne Doyle-Ingram with Real Estate Game Changers Radio, and I am so excited to have Richard Bryan on the interview today. He's from Nashville, Tennessee. He's a native Nashvillian. I wanted to say that. He's a native Nashvillian, born and raised in Nashville, and he followed his mother and father into real estate, so he's a second-generation realtor, and he's extremely successful. And we have tried to book this interview for about 2 or 3 months, so we're really excited to have him on the line today. Welcome to the show, Richard.
Thank you so much for having me. I look forward to speaking with you.
Oh, it's just wonderful to have you here. You're such a busy realtor, and I'm so happy that you're here. So the first thing I want to ask you is, what do you love about your career in real estate?
Oh, I enjoy how it's evolved over the years and getting to know so many different people and different phases in their lives and being close to my buyers and sellers.
Mm-hmm. I bet you become friends with them all.
Most of them I do, yes.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. And so you followed your mother and father into real estate. And so how did that evolve? Did you go right into real estate after school, or what was your career path with that?
Oh, no, I swore I'd never sell real estate after experiencing it my whole childhood with my parents. But
I know, I had the same thing with my mom. That's funny. So how did it happen?
Oh, I just, I worked at a big hotel in Dallas after I graduated from SMU, and then I came back to Nashville, and I sold life insurance for about 6 months, and you had to give back your commission if your people turn in their policies, and I thought, my mom doesn't turn in her commission if someone sells their house or whatever like that, so I thought I'd try real estate, and I've been in it since 1989.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Just grown from that.
Yeah, you've done very, very well. Worked with many, many, many families and helped a lot of people. And so, do you work with your mom and dad?
My father has since passed, but my mom and I still work together, and she's slowing down a little bit in her career, but we still work together, definitely.
Oh, that's great. So, did you start out with them right away after when you joined the business?
Yes, we've always my mom and I've always worked together. My dad more is like support background for us.
Oh, good. My brother also worked with my mom in real estate, so that's kind of neat. And it's a good team. And I don't know if this ever happened to you, but every now and then people would ask if they were married.
It's funny. I know they don't know how to address that. What's your relationship?
Yeah. Mother and son, really. That's so funny.
Right.
Yeah. Perfect. So, so I understand that you do love your career, because when we were speaking before the interview, you were talking about how you're basically married to your career and you work all the time because you love it so much. And I know and do the same thing with mine. So tell me a little bit about Nashville. I've never been there. I would love to go. I would love to know what you love about the city and what's great about the city.
Oh, you should come. Everybody should come visit. And lots of people, after they do visit, they decide to move here. It's beautiful. We have the Four Seasons. It's centrally located, so we have an international airport that you can fly out and get to anywhere. We have almost all the interstates intersect through Nashville, so transportation's easy. We have beautiful parks that people can enjoy. It's just, people are friendly and hospitable, and it's just a nice place to live.
And there's a big music scene there, I've heard.
Right. Well, yeah, just a little one.
Yeah. A wee one. Right. And so I would love to know, I'm sure our listeners want to know too, have you ever worked with any sort of Nashville celebrities?
Oh, yes, I have, and several different ones, and I think they have all, it's all been a good experience, and I'm sure they'd like to keep that confidential of who they are that I have worked with. But it's been great, and they're like normal people. They have certain needs and desires, and they're looking for a house, and and then you just kind of go from there of what they're looking for.
Oh, neat. Oh, okay, good. Well, I really kind of respect your confidentiality. I understand that. I have another realtor client that did a book with me, and he worked with someone really famous, and he couldn't tell me who it was, and I was dying to know.
Starts with and ends with.
Right, but not mentioning any names. Can you give me a little bit of juicy information about what sort of things are in the homes that they buy? They probably buy multi-million-dollar homes, and I would love to know, for those of us listening who don't have multi-million-dollar homes, what are some of the cool features of those homes?
Oh, lots of the people sometimes in that price range seem to enjoy like privacy as well as a pool or outdoor amenities, as well as, a spacious master bedroom and like almost a spa-like bathroom, like you would feel like you're at a 5-star resort with a beautiful shower and tub and bathroom. And, and then now people are trending toward geothermal heating and cooling and reclaimed products such as slate and hardwoods and things like that in their homes to feel like their footprint isn't so large, and when they're building these houses that they're reclaiming things and reusing them for their homes.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah. Because, reclaiming things, sometimes people think of that as like a budget issue, but it's great to know that it's actually, an environmental wish as well.
Right.
Okay, good. So, I know, do you specifically work with anyone like first home buyers or, senior citizens, or, do you have a specialty?
I work with everything, and being from Nashville, I know a lot of different areas of town. I have a $19,000 lot listed, and have something on the market that's over $5 million. So,
oh wow, everything in between.
Yeah, whatever you need, I'll be glad to help you.
Wow. And I know that, looking at some of the awards and stuff you've won, you did have, the highest number of transactions for all the agents in your office, 5 or 6 years in a row. So, yeah, I imagine you would have quite a broad range of, it's nice to know that somebody can actually get a piece of land for $19,000. That's amazing.
Right. It's a little bit out of Nashville, but it's still, within 25 minutes probably.
Right, and that's really manageable for people. Good to know. Yeah. Now, I know you've won so many awards. The Nashville Business Journal has given you awards year after year after year. If I was to name them all, that would be the end of the interview because it would take too long. And then, what's the GNAR Award of Excellence? You seem to receive that one all the time.
That's our local association of realtors board, and there's certain categories and classifications, and you have to sell so many homes as well as a certain dollar amount to qualify for different awards.
Okay, perfect. Great. Good. Wow, good for you. That's wonderful. And I know you have been very involved in the real estate board, which is great because I think it's important that people do, it's one way of showing your commitment to the industry.
Right. Whit Clark, who is one of our brokers at Frederick & Clark, said, Richard, you've got to give back to the community one time. And so after that, I always try to participate as much as I'm able in our board.
Right. And have you ever mentored younger agents?
Oh, probably not directly, but a lot of agents do come and ask me different questions, and I always try to have an open door that they feel like they can ask, a situational type question, and I can try to answer, but of course I always they need to go to our brokers and see what they would say, but yeah, I think when you start out, you do want someone that you feel like you can approach and ask kind of simple questions that you think you know the answer, but you want to verify you know the answer. Yeah. Well, they see how successful you are, and they think, what do I need to do to be like Richard?
I want that. And probably a lot of times it's the hard work. That's the answer. It's hard work.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing comes easy.
No, I know. It's when you are, 7 or 10 or 20 years into your career where you think, someone who's just starting, they look at you and they think, I want that, and they don't realize all the years and the 7 days a week of working and up till midnight, and especially the younger people nowadays, they don't really understand what goes into it, I don't think.
Right. And you do have to put in the time, that's for sure.
What are some of the things that you do for marketing properties, speaking of hours and hours of work?
Well, I do many different things. I do use the internet a lot, through email directly to people, as well as different websites I'm on, and using great photographers and to promote it. I actually do use postcards to directly target people that I think might be specifically interested in a home.
Oh, okay.
So, just a variety of different things, kind of a little old school and new school mixed together.
Oh, yeah, but it's funny because I think people forget about how effective direct mail is, and postcards, and especially with beautiful photography, that can speak volumes.
Makes a difference. I think our National Association of Realtors says your first showing is online anymore. They don't really come to the house for the first showing.
Yeah.
They've decided already they like it, so they're going to come now and see it live.
And everybody's in such a hurry, they can just go flick, and look at the pictures so quickly online. And sometimes when I'm looking on the real estate websites, I'm surprised when realtors put bad pictures up there with really bad lighting or, clutter all over the kitchen counters. And I think, come on, just move that stuff over to take the picture. Get some good lighting in there, because they're losing out on potential sales.
You're right.
Yeah, it's amazing. So when you get a listing, what's the process after that? So you get the listing, and then do you work with any home stagers if necessary, or what's the first step there?
Sure, it depends, on the client's budget and things like that. But I definitely walk through the house of the homeowner and speak to them, like you're talking about, like different clutter items that might be sitting around, or furniture that could be in the pathway to walk. But a lot of times you can engage a staging person, and they will help kind of soften the way it's approached to present it to the homeowner and talk to them and say, we can mix this type of furniture in as well as use your furniture.
Oh, yeah, that's good. So they don't get their feelings hurt.
Right, definitely.
Yeah, I like that idea. And then you have the photographer come in and or maybe do a video too, depending on the listing.
Yes.
Okay.
And so, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I mean, we do use different photographers. They come in, and there's two that I specifically like in our market. And then if it's a house with a piece of property, we have drone photography taken where they fly over it and people can get an aerial perspective of their home as well.
Oh, that's great. That's really good. And I think it's so true that, it's got to go online right away, because, I remember back in the day, a million years ago, when I worked at my mom's real estate office, remember those big, thick, black and white books that used to come out, and people used to see, I think, like, the realtor would say, they would photocopy 5 pages and say, here's the 5 houses we're seeing today. And then you go to them. That's just the way it was, right?
Right. People didn't even know what they were going to look at back then.
I know.
You would be the one showing them.
Right? And now people call up their realtor and say, I've found 5 things I want you to show me, So,
I know. I do miss that part of riding around in the car with people and getting to know them well, like you used to.
Yeah, I bet you do, because you probably spent days and days and days with people, and their
for sure.
Their little kids, and all their situation. Oh, we got to go drop off Johnny at daycare, and we got to, all that kind of stuff.
You're right. You know the routines.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's switch for a minute here. I want to ask you, which I always do in this interview, but what are your guiding principles as a business person?
Oh, I think definitely honesty and integrity, and I want to treat you like I'd want to be treated, and I'd want to if I felt like something was not right, I would want you to tell me, and so I do tell my clients if something's not being handled correctly. either on their part or on the other side doing to us.
Yeah. That's good. That's very good. You're always looking out for their best interests.
For sure.
So, and what is it, there must be something that's different about you because you do more deals than anybody else. So what makes you different than your competitors?
Oh, I think part of it is I'm genuine, and not that they're not genuine. I just think people want service and they want to be treated well, and I feel like that's what I try to do. If you want something done differently, I'll be glad to try to accommodate you, and I want you to be happy. I want it to be a pleasant experience, whatever it is, buying or selling. I hope when you work with me, it's always pleasant.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Otherwise, you wouldn't have so many referrals.
Right.
Yeah, that goes a long way, and that speaks volumes, I think, when you've got people. Do you know the statistics on how much of your business is referral based?
Oh, I have not looked at the number specifically, but it is a lot of my business, definitely, and I'm sure it's 75% or something. I know my clients through someone or have worked with them in the past. I'd say, a big majority of people.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I wanted to ask you...
Work with someone I don't know, too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm sure they see your signs all over town, and they say, oh, Richard Bryan, that's the guy to call. What about, I know that you're really strong at negotiating because you have really so much experience negotiating when you have done the high number of deals that you've done, years and years and years and years of real estate. So can you tell me a little bit about the art of negotiating?
Well, I definitely think you have to have knowledge of your market, and you've got to present that when you counter or make an offer or your proposal on repairs, whatever it might be. You have to know what things have sold for, what things are typically repaired for, what the costs are, whatever it might be you're negotiating. Mm-hmm. Just knowledge is very important.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the knowledge of what things are worth and all that kind of thing. But what about the communication that goes into it?
Oh, I do enjoy talking directly with someone instead of a text or an email, just because I think it's more convincing when they do realize you have information that they might not know, and you can present it. You don't have to be demanding. You can give your information in a thoughtful way and convince them what's correct.
Right, exactly. And I think being fair on both sides is really the overall goal, isn't it?
Exactly. You're exactly right.
I think there's a real art to negotiating when you can get what you want for your client, but make the other person feel like they got what they want too, don't you think?
Right, and fair, I mean, people do realize what is fair in the end, and so I do think once you give them an opportunity to be fair, they do understand, and they do try to work it out so that everybody is happy. Yeah,
good. Well, is there anything else you would like to add about real estate in Nashville?
No, come to Nashville, buy a house. Or sell one.
Call Richard Bryan.
Exactly.
Perfect. It's been great. It's been great chatting with you and getting to know you a little bit more. And I would love it if you would tell our listeners how they can reach you if they'd like to come and buy a house in Nashville or talk to you about selling their home.
Oh, yes. Anytime. Call me. My office number is 615-327-4800. And my cell is 615-533-8353, or you can email me, and it's my name. It's Richard F as in Fitzgerald, Richard F Bryan Bryan @gmail. I'd love to hear from you.
Great. Well, thank you so much, and we'll put your contact information in our show notes as well. And thanks so much for your time. I know you've got to run, but have a wonderful day, and thanks again.
All right. Nice speaking with you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
This has been another episode of Real Estate Game Changers Radio with your host, Suzanne Doyle-Ingram. To hear all episodes featuring our hand-picked real estate game changers, visit us online at www.realestategamechangersradio.com.